If you don't tell your money where to go, somebody else will tell it where to go. And they will tell it to go in their pocket and out of yours. So today I'm going to share some powerful, powerful tips on what I do at the beginning of every month, in the middle of the month, and at the end of the month. So if you're in debt, if you are not paying down your debt as quickly as you'd like, you got to find out where the weak spots are. And this is the way that I do it. And I share this here freely with you because I want you to be debt free. It is powerful to be debt free. And if you've ever had the dream of being a millionaire but discounted it, getting debt free is the first step. So much easier to reach that goal, or really any goal that you have once you're debt free, whether it's a goal to lose weight, start a business, be a millionaire, start a new hobby or a new venture, travel more. All of those things cost money. And if you are making the credit card companies rich, if you're in debt, you're making somebody else rich. And I'm preaching to the choir, I know, if you've been in this group for a while. So let's get right on in it. What I do the beginning of the month, and I have taught my son to do this, is on the last day of the month, could be the first day, the last day, right at the end there, I review the money that has come in and how I will spend it. So this is going to work no matter what category you're in, whether you're paid weekly, monthly, bi-weekly. In our household, single income household for many, many years, making less than six figures a year, we had one income and we got paid once a month. We got paid around the last day of the month. And I would take that and I would strategize how we were going to make it last for a whole other month. Now, my son, he gets paid bi-weekly. So he created enough of a fund so that he would save up his checks, and at the end of the month, he would calculate how much money he received that month. So he would calculate it before he spent it. Some months there were two paychecks, some months there were three paychecks. So he would calculate it, and he again would set his budget for the month. Whatever way you do this, you can do this weekly if you want, you can do it bi-weekly, you can do it monthly. But the first thing you do with the paychecks, the first thing I do on my worksheet is I determine the income that we received, and 10% of it goes to giving, to charitable organizations that give 100% of their money towards the cause. Now, do you have to give 10%? Maybe you give more, maybe you give less. I don't care, but the first thing that's going to help your mindset is choose a percentage to give. I don't care what percentage it is. This is going to open up your mind to receive. If you give generously, then your hand will be open to receive generously. So, first thing I do is I decide what that dollar amount would be, but it's always the same percentage. Did you know that the wealthy, they manage their money by percentages? They don't do it by dollar amounts and nickel and diming. So if you want to be wealthy, it would make sense to do what the wealthy do. They manage their money by percentages. So that's the first thing. I have a note here that I have an automatic transfer. My giving account automatically on the same day of the month, it's given to those charities. But I do deposit 10% into that giving fund, and then the check is written. That is number one. Number two, pay yourself. Pay yourself. How much money are you putting away for your future? How much money are you investing? The Bible talks about investing. If you're not concerned about your future, the Bible talks about how the ant stores up, because in our lives, we do have winter seasons, we do have spring, summer, we have different seasons in our life. And if you are young, if you're in your youth, you're in the spring of your life. You are at the point in your life where you have the greatest amount of energy. And you're at the point of your life where time is in your favor. If you invest, by the time you get your first job, I had my first job at 16. If you invest between ages 16 to 26 to 36, you invest 20% of your earnings and then stop, it's going to still compounding. You will have literally millions of dollars by the time your retirement age. That's yours. So time is definitely on your side. If you're starting this now, maybe you're heading towards the fall and winter season. I did not get started with this until I was in my 50s. I'm 56 now. And it took a lot of strategy and a lot more effort to get where I wanted. But you must pay yourself. You must invest in something that will give you a return. All right? You want your money to grow so you can harvest it later. And I check that off. The next box I have is I put a note as to what's gone to the IRS. Now, if you are doing a tithe of 10%, if you are choosing to invest 10 to 20%, a lot of people ask, is that on my gross? Is it on my net? I don't know. I'll tell you what, I don't care. Just pick something. It doesn't matter. Don't get caught up in the weeds. Pick something. You can have a lot of arguments on, oh, you have to tithe on the gross, otherwise you're a sinner. Pray about it. Figure it out. Pick one. Do your best. Do your best. And again, as far as the full 10%, if you've never given before, maybe you're not financially ready to start at 10%. Give 1%. It's okay, but give cheerfully. And if you don't believe in God, if you're an atheist or agnostic, still give. There are still plenty of opportunities to give, to where you can help the community and be a giver. Plenty of charities. It doesn't even have to be faith-based. There are charities for the poor, for animals, for reading, for school children, for backpacks. The need is great. And as a biblically minded person, the Bible says you will always have the poor among you. All right, so Yeshua or Jesus said, you're always going to have the poor among you. But what he did not say is that he wanted you to be the poor, but he said you would have poor among you. So think about that. Let's get out of debt. Let's do great things, and let's be generous givers. So then here we get to the fun stuff, or not so fun stuff. We get to the bills. All right, so I give 10% to giving, 20% to investments. The IRS is going to take whatever it's going to take. And then all other living expenses need to be paid after I've given to charity and after I've put money in an account that is going to make me money. Right now, CDs are 5 to 6% if you put your money in a certificate of deposit. So that's great for short term. All right. I have about 47% of my gross income that goes to all other living expenses. My bills are about 22%. That leaves 23% to live on. So let's see. I have a list of my regular bills. They are automatically paid every month. So that is my electric bill. That is my pest bill. That is my water and sewer bill. That is my cell phone bill. We got rid of our house phone, which was about $40 or $50 a month, our landline. And that's about $600 a year. We really weren't using it. We canceled our landline and just stuck with cell phones for the family members. And of course, we put that money towards debt back when we canceled it. Another regular bill is streaming service. I only have one streaming service at a time. We had Amazon, and we got tired of watching the stuff on Amazon. We went to Peacock. We got tired of Peacock. We went to Netflix, blah, blah, blah. I'm only going to pay for one streaming service at a time. I can only put my 2 eyeballs on one screen at a time. So that may save you money. But those are my regular monthly bills every month. Now, I have bills that I have to pay once a year or quarterly or every 6 months. I'm sure you do too. I wrote down all of those bills. And let's just hypothetically say my property taxes are $3,600 a year. That breaks down to $300 a month. So every month I put aside $300 into an account, and then by the time property taxes are due, I already have it saved up. So I'm going to give you a list of my bills. Yours might be similar. And again, do this for yourself. Go through and see what bills do you have to pay every year? What bills do you only pay every quarter? What bills are every other month? Okay, my pest control bill, they actually come every other month. And it's about $80 every other month. Just to make it easier for myself, I give them $40 a month. So some months I'm ahead 40 and then the balance is 0. So I do that just to make it easier for me. Another thing that I like to do, all right, well, we'll get to this. I'm going to go over my bills. And again, I've added these up. I know how much money I need to put into an account every single month. So when that yearly bill is due, the money is right there. So in January, my auto insurance is due. In February, my homeowner's insurance is due. In March, I usually fill up my propane tank. In April, I have a water filter for the whole house and at the sink. Those filters need to be changed once a year. In June, my auto insurance is due again because the policies are 6 months. I used to have a policy that was 1 year at a time, and I prefer that. But I believe because I have a teenage driver, they just want to do 6 months as a maximum. So that's in June. In July, I have a life insurance policy that is due. In August, I have another life insurance policy that's due. In September, I have nothing due, and that I put aside some money for a buffer, just in case one of my bills is more than I think it's going to be. In November, I have property taxes due. And in December, I have the Homeowners Association due, which I'm looking forward to moving and not having a homeowners association fee anymore. But in the meantime, that is due in December. Now, for my homeowners association bill, I can pay it every quarter, but I prefer to get it over with. I don't want to deal with it. It saves me mental fatigue to just pay that bill once a year. There are other bills here, life insurance policies, they'll let you pay monthly. Auto insurance, they'll let you pay monthly. But the thing is, when they let you pay monthly, a lot of times they'll tack on a percentage or a $2.50 fee every month or a $5 fee every month. Those add up. So if you can get to the place where you are able to just pay off the whole year, one less headache. So I added up the yearly amount, and let's just say the yearly amount for all that is $24,000 per year for all of the insurances and for propane, homeowners, property taxes. That would mean I would need to put away $2,000 a month in an account to be ready for when those bills are due. Hopefully yours is less. I am looking forward to moving to an area where the cost of living is a little bit less, because that's a lot of money. So once I do that with the bills, then I subtract that, and whatever's left over is how much I have to spend for the month. This way, I don't overspend. And I'm going to say, hypothetically, my husband does get a widely varying income. It varies a lot. It can vary as much as 40% on what he gets from month to month. So if there's extra, I definitely like to have a buffer, definitely like to have a little cash set aside. Once that is complete, I have my spending sheet. And I have here, I don't know if you can see, every day of the month. I have 1 through 31 days. I have a section for food and fuel. Whenever I go to the grocery store, I put it down. Whenever we go to gas, I put it down. That's what we have to live on. Then I have another section for extras, like travel or eating out or a special date night out or little extras or gifts. You can live without those things. So if you do this, you will get an idea of your bare minimum to live on. Now, does that mean I want you to live like a Spartan and never treat yourself? No. But once you know the bare minimum to live on, that number is going to help you in the future and for future classes, because what the goal is once you pay off debt, you want to create an income stream that will pay you at least the bare minimum you need to live on. And that's going to take a weight off. If you have that income coming in with the bare minimum that you need to survive, you know you're going to survive no matter what. This can be from, I love dividend stocks in doing the dividend reinvestment. People may have royalties. They might have written an ebook. There are annuities. There are lots of things that will give you a monthly cash flow. And that is my budget. There is another important thing that I do, and if you're not doing this, this is totally going to help you. Right now, we have 6 credit cards. I recommend no more than 3, which is what we had. A credit card that you can use if you're going to get points, but you better pay it off every month because they will get you if you don't pay it off. I do not recommend debit cards. I think regular credit cards are safer. I like to have a backup credit card. It's very helpful for travel. And I just had a third one. Now my husband, he went to Bass Pro Shops and they had a special, and then he went to BJ's and he wanted their credit card. And I'm like, oh my gosh, why are we getting all these extra credit cards? However, that's the thing. If you're married, you need to have some compromise. I did not want the extra credit cards. He did. It's a little extra time. But here's the important thing for credit cards. I try to review my credit cards every week, and I try and pay them off every week. And in my sheet, not sure if you can see this, but I have week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, and you can see some check marks. Week 1, I had a balance of 160. I paid it off. Week 2, I had a balance of 146. I paid it off. Week 3, balance of 75. I paid it off. You will never have a late fee if you pay in full every week. What if you miss a week? All right, then it's every other week. What if you miss that week? You're still going to be paying every month, especially if you do your budget every month. I'd like to review it every week because sometimes I have noticed charges there that I did not make. One time there was a charge from like China or Thailand or some weird thing that was like $700 that I did not charge. It was fraud. So you definitely want to catch that. It happens. Credit card companies are great at tracking down fraud and not having you liable. So those are my major tips for you. So if you are in the group Faith, Finance, and Freedom, let me know if you want these worksheets, if you want to have a Q&A, if you need extra help with a spending plan. Let me know what's helped you. If you want these worksheets, I will create some blank ones for you. If you want to go deeper into how this works and have a Q&A, definitely let me know and I will plan that. If you're not in Faith, Finance, and Freedom, it is a free group on Facebook, women only. Drop a comment, share it, and you are welcome to join. It is designed to help women, to help single income households manage money, get out of debt, and have the freedom that being debt-free can allow you.